Okay, good day everybody. In this class, we are going to be connecting the inverter, as in, totally from the scratch to finish. And the inverter has different sources. We have the solar panel coming in as a source. We have the battery coming in as a source to power the inverter. And we have your charge controller, which is a junction where every of those components meets. So quickly, let's don't forget your charge controller has a slot where you can power your lightings, that is DC lightings. So I quickly connect the DC lighting. I connect that straight up because okay, so look at the terminal, negative to positive. So we have positive here, and then okay, so positive, then also to negative. So plug it together. So you have positive to positive, then negative to negative. So I connect my DC lightings. So the inverter can actually use DC lightings and both AC lightings. So the ones that is coming from the inverter, 240 volts, will go to the AC, while you can also use DC lightings if you don't want to actually use up your power source. And you connect a cable to your charge controller. That's, you see a battery sign, let me zoom that in for you to be able to see. Okay, from here you see a battery sign here. This is a battery sign here. This battery sign means that's the battery input. So I've already plugged in my lightings. Then the next thing is the battery. So I've already done that already. So you have to tighten it properly to avoid any form of surge. Then I connect that to my battery. So like I told you in the last class that the inverter also had the terminal. Okay, just want to be careful. Okay, so that comes to the battery. So this is the positive terminal. It is polarity based. You have to be careful. Polarity based. Okay, so I join it with the one going to the inverter. I join it to the positive terminal, and at the same time the negative, I join it also. Okay, once I do that, you can see my lighting coming up. So automatically the lighting comes up. So I can decide to turn it off or turn it on the charge controller. As you can see, so the charge controller has a switch where you can turn on your lighting or turn off your lighting. So that is to tell you, and at the same time, it shows you, the inverter shows you the voltage that is coming in to the charge controller. I'm trying to zoom it so that you can see. So that is 12 volts coming in to the, you will see 12 volts, in some cases 12.5 volts into the charge controller. As you can see, that is it. 12.5 volts coming into the charge controller. The charge controller is already seeing, you're getting source from the battery. And the only thing needed to add now is our solar panel. Once we add the solar panel, then the solar charges the battery and your inverter is good to go. So from here, we can start enjoying the inverter. Okay, so with this now, we can even stop it here. Then the next thing to do is to add the solar terminal and the cables and the wire. So all you just need to do is to peel up this and add it to your charge controller. Once that is done, then your inverter is as good as so. The only thing you have to bother about is how to install. The reason why I don't want to install this now is because it's not placed in the right place. Probably place it on your roof so that you can then run cables, because if you peel out the cable mistakenly and they connect themselves, you can damage your panel. So all you just need to do is to peel this, then add it to the last terminal on your charge controller, and then you are good to go for your inverter. That is how inverter is done. Then the next thing to do is to start enjoying by adding your load. Like I have here, this is 240. That's a 240 load. So by the time I turn on my inverter is good to go. So you can see charging automatically. So that is how my inverter works. So as you can see, that is how the inverter is working. So I have 240 volts coming out, and at the same time I can still enjoy my lighting from here. That's, DC lighting are very, very bright. You can see it's even brighter. It's brighter than the one coming from 240. The DC bulbs are very, very bright. So that is how the inverter is done. Thank you very, very much for listening.